broadcasting television, Abuja, Nigeria, the first agricultural television in Nigeria. I am Khadija Oluwatoyin Amin. Today on Agric Economy, we shall be taking a look at the effect of pests and diseases on crop production as it affects the economy. This is practical as we know what the cost of food item is in the market, and the latest of it is that of the tomatoes, which has been said to be infected with pests, and this pest has made production very difficult. Hence, the price of tomato going from 16,000 naira for a small basket to 55,000 naira for a small basket, and the big one going from 36 to 40,000 naira to over 100,000 naira. To discuss the effect of these to the Nigerian economy is our economist in the house, Mr. Gabriel Dakolo. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you for having me.
We have seen in recent years where we have infested produce. Of course, we know that it's not something good. When a farmer had, finished and expected that this is my production for this month, I should be able to get, for example, 10 tubers of yam, and then because of infestation of pests or disease, you see that the yam or cassava is not coming out. Even if they do, you see that half of it is already bad and gone. To start with, what's pests and what can be done to control pests and diseases?
Yeah, pests and diseases as regards crops are unwanted visitors that tend to take advantage of crops to the extent that it will affect their growth process, it will affect also their yield, and if care is not taken, it could affect the whole production at the long run. What pest does is to take advantage of some certain areas of the crops and ensure that they infest on it to the extent that they take sometimes the nutrients out of it, they take the growth out of it, and at the end of the day, the crop will not be able to grow as projected, and or the yield will not be able to, or what we call, will not be able to have a bountiful harvest. So pest is a disruption to the growth of crops all over the agricultural value chain. And when you also look at diseases that can affect crops, for example, you see that so many research has been done as regards what to be done at every point in time. We have pesticides, we have all those what do I call it, agents to be able to attack these things when they are detected on time, so that it can stop the spread or prevent it from having a major effect. But you discover that over time, maybe due to economic conditions or due to new strains or new technology or even research, you discover that there are mutations and new pests or diseases that are coming up that are affecting agricultural products presently. And you see that if research are not done to look at the chemicals that will be able to combat them, they can wreak havoc, as we are seeing presently in the case of tomatoes.
Economically, what is this? How does it translate to our economy?
Yes, when farmers go to the farm, whether individual farmers or commercial farmers, depending on their scale, they have projections of what they intend to achieve in the farming season. In the projections, there are also agreements that could have been signed or markets that could have been envisaged that, okay, from our farm this year, so and so tubers of yam is what we'll supply. So and so grains or maize is what we'll supply to your company for continuous improvement or rebranding or whatsoever. And also to the market, these are what we want to put in the market. So when we have, just like I told us, that pests are disruptions or diseases are disruptions to farmers' plan as regards yield and harvest. So when we have pests or diseases affecting those crops to the extent that the farmer loses a certain percentage of it, or in some cases loses all, it means that the farmer will not be able to meet up with its obligations to its off-takers, whether be the market or the companies that need to improve on those agricultural products. And when that is done, it means that there will be no enough food products that the market can sell to sustain the economy. There will be no enough raw materials for improvement for those companies to be able to give out to the economy and be able to fulfill their legal obligations to the government and to the community. That means that those companies that depend on such agricultural products like tomato, for example, for a tomato paste company, and that could not receive the raw material, which is tomato, to make its produce, it means that the company will be redundant, the staff members might be retrenched, and that company will not be able to pay its obligation, or that is in taxes, to the government, both state and local government and the federal government. The other aspect of it is that it will affect food security in the country. And when food security is affected, it means that the population is going to suffer the aftermath of that. We have seen what can happen when such situations occur. In the case of tomato, for example, when this pest affected the tomatoes, it created scarcity. And when there is scarcity, it means that the prices of the existing ones, or those that have been salvaged, is going to go up. And that's why we are seeing high prices going up. When there is high prices due to scarcity, it means that the marketers or the sellers of these products are going to end up selling fewer than they used to sell. They are going to end up seeing buyers reducing their demand because of high cost. For example, if I've been going to the market, for example, to buy a basket of tomatoes, like you said, for 36 to 40,000, and I now discover that the basket is now 100 or 110,000, my capacity, if it is not improved when I'm coming to the market, it means that I'm going to settle for the one that is lower. That means a customers that have been buying one full basket, big one from you, for 40-something thousand, will end up buying maybe a quarter. So it's going to affect sales for those that are even marketing those agricultural products. Two, it's going to affect the economy in the sense that because of the lower purchasing power that will be involved, the consumer price index has risen, so the economy will not benefit from it as regards consumer spending, which is a statistics and yardstick for measuring the health of an economy. So when we have low consumer spending, it means that the economy is struggling. So these are factors that would definitely affect the economy if it is not nipped in the bud.
Okay, we've seen adverse effects, like you explained now, to be low demand of this, because people will now begin to look for alternatives.
Definitely.
And the rest. What should be done? What should farmer? How can we mitigate having this kind of issues come up?
Yes, the bulk still lands on the table of Agric researchers. They need to be more proactive. They need to envisage situations like this. Now, just like I said earlier, it could be as a regard of strain or new development that is coming up. That is why our researchers in our agricultural research institute need to be abreast with what is happening in other climes. You know, there are various ways that pests can come upon a crop. For example, there are birds that are carriers of pests. When they come with it from other regions of other regions of the country, for example, or other countries. They are called migratory birds that can come with those pests and dump it on the one that we are talking about. Now, agriculture research institute need to look at trends that are happening all over the world, or trends that are happening even in the African sub-region. Do we have a situation where we have tomato pest invasion in Cameroon, for example, or in Guinea or Chad, or in Central African Republic? When we see such situations, they need to quickly reach out to those areas to be able to get the strains that is causing such, to be able to start anticipating because we have migrated birds that could bring those things effortlessly to our own region, to our own area. So we need to be proactive to ensure that by the time it will get to our area, we will have gotten prepared for it, because there are preventive chemicals that are used, that even in some cases when those pests are coming, the prevention would have made it not possible for them to infect the damage that they will have come to cause. So we need our research institutes, agricultural research institutes, to be very, very proactive to emphasize this kind of things by being abreast with what is happening all over the world. Because without that, this thing can come upon us, and it will take us time to be able to find a cure to it. And in the process of finding cure, a lot of damage will have been done, affecting the economy, affecting the sustainability of the people, and in other areas.
Okay, quickly on that note, we take a break. When we return, the program continues. Stay tuned. Welcome to another exciting episode of the program Agric Today.
Under fishery and aquaculture, we train over 700 women and youth.
Food and agriculture production systems are facing unprecedented challenges, from an increasing demand for food for our growing population, rising hunger, malnutrition. This program is designed to bring to you new happenings and innovations in the world of Agric. I remain your host, Amin Khadija.
Hello and welcome to the program where agricultural production is explored at its best. Application of adequate fertilizer is needed so as to add to the nutrients. Hence, the best soil for the planting of ginger is the sandy loamy or clean loamy, and nutrient needs to be seriously added to enhance the growth and productivity. I am Hilda Homsem Frantuam.
Hello and welcome to yet another interesting episode of the program Back to Farm.
First thing I do, normally I will clear the farm, then I will look for my that is the chemical I will use to clear the grass. Yes, if you have little capital and you want to start farming, there is joy in farming, because no matter how, you know, go to market and buy. When you farm, you eat from it, you dash or you give someone.
My name is Joshua Ishaya.
Media Trend is a program where we touchlight different stories trending on social media, just to keep you abreast with all the happenings in the entertainment world and beyond.
I don't watch Big Brother Nigeria. I'm not a fan of Big Brother Nigeria, but if that is what you choose, that's fine. That's fine.
Right morning, people say that his music is that bad, but man, I think he's good to anything he wants to do, he should pursue it.
Well, I remain Euphemia Ijoma, your host.
This is Kitchen Drive, where we explore all kinds of kitchen, buka, restaurants, and we get to know different delicacies.
You cover it, you put a little water that will take the soup.
And feel the butter saying, have a nice day.
This is Market Flow on ARCN TV. And today I'm at the Duse Market in the FCT, and it's filled to the brim.
When price of bag of rice before was 7,500. Now you are buying 38,000.
Before they sell less 800 naira, cause now everything now in cost. Less now are they selling 3,500.
Yeah, I go for aluminum pot because that one you go use that one naturally and all that. Tire.
You have been informed about the prices of foodstuff you need to buy this week. I am Fatima Suleiman.
It is no longer news that agriculture has continued to dominate the economic activities in Nigeria, especially at a time when the present administration is trying so hard to move the economy from crude oil based.
Where researches are carried out by the research institutes Our products at the college are the extension agents that will carry the message back to the farmers wherever they are.
The organic agriculture in Nigeria, it's at its infancy and it's gathering momentum, and a lot of institutions are contributing their various quota.
The gross domestic product is also being increased. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the program Agric Economy. Join us again, same time, same station next week.
Today on Aqua Farming, we are in faraway Niger State. We'll be talking to a fish farm caretaker, and is going to be telling us the profitable way to farm fish.
The smoke sizes, they range between 400 to 600 grams. For the processors who process them, smoke them, fold them, package them in cartons, and move them to other neighboring states. Then here are the broodstocks. Actually, in the main farm, we have something far bigger than this.
Are these male?
They are both male and females.
Local feed, and the fish are within the range of 2 months. Give them at most, if it's my own, I give them what? 50-50. That's 50% CP, crude protein, 50% what? Carbohydrate.
On that note, we come to the end of the program Aqua Farming. My name is Joshua Ishaya.
The effect of pests and diseases on the crop production as it affects the Nigerian economy. We've talked about what needs to be done, your call on research institute in regards to all of these, then what they should look out for. Generally speaking, now, what are the effects of disease on crop production?
Yes, the diseases on crop production wreak havoc on the yield and the productivity of such crops. Apart from wreaking havoc on the yield and the productivity, it also affects the finances of the farmers and on the long run, because a lot will have been spent on preparing the ground, buying the seedlings, putting everything in place with machineries to be able to get the crops growing and monitoring it. So when we now get in the middle of the season, a situation whereby we have these crops, it will erode the finances of the farmers. It will also affect profitability. In situations whereby those crops cannot even be recovered at all. When the harvest is zero, it means that it can render the company or the farm to run at a loss for that season. And if some are able to be salvaged, it could mean that the farmer might end up not making any profit in that season. So it affects the farmer seriously. It affects the yield that goes to the market. It also affects the benefit that it accrues to the government in, first, calming the economy, and two, having a measure of tax from agricultural production. So it's a serious matter if it is not looked into, because when it has a chain of events. The chain of events starts with the farmer. The farmer loses capacity and the capability to produce more because of the havoc the pest or diseases has wreaked on his farm or on his production. Two, it reduces the capacity of the market to be able to purchase the ones that are salvaged or the ones that are available at a very high cost. Because, for example, if I'm a trader now in tomatoes, for example, I have my capital at 300,000 and I used to buy 10 baskets or 9 baskets at 30,000, for example, to sell at 36 or thereabout. And I'm now faced with a situation whereby I need to cover like 90,000 for a big basket. With a capital base of 300,000, it means that I can only buy 3 baskets. So it affects the capacity of the market, the marketers in the market, to be able to purchase the products at a very high cost. So apart from that, I say it's a chain of events. When they eventually procure it, they need to sell as well at a very high rate. The buyers also, it affects their capacity to purchase as they would like. So those that have been buying large quantities will be faced with buying fewer quantities. And when they buy fewer quantities, it also affects the quantity of food that is being put in the table, both locally and the ones that is exported. For example, when situations like that arises, we have seen situations whereby some homes do not even make a tomato sauce anymore. They are now using other alternatives, and it affects the nutrition and the diet of the family. So when that happens, it could lead to malnutrition, it could lead to ill health, which will mean more people going to the hospital or health centers. And in that process, if nothing is done, it could also lead to losing some lives in the process. So the chain effect of it, right from the farmer's end down to the population and even to the economy, is grievous.
Okay, thank you so much for that. What should be the lookout for farmers?
Yes, the farmers, to me, should collaborate effectively with the federal government, their state government and local government, and also with the agricultural research institutes and the liaisons of various government agencies as regards agriculture to be proactive and preempt what could happen. Yes, it's tomato today. We don't know which one is going to happen tomorrow. So that in every area, anything that they see that is untoward, you know, some farmers, they see some things and they hide it to themselves. They say, no, I'm not going to be the one that will report this that is happening in my farm. Anything that they see, they have to be transparent enough so that they can research can be done on them on time before it affects other farms. So farmers should be upfront with the truth when they see anything unusual on their crops or in their farm, so that it can be salvaged on time before it affects other farms and affect the general yield of production in that area or even in the country. So there is need for collaboration and transparency between the farmers and the government in tackling diseases and pests that comes into the farm. We have seen situations, for example, in poultry, when a poultry farm brought out this avian influenza flu, and they hid it from other poultries or from other farms just because they do not want to be the one that will be reported to have brought it up. So they killed all the birds, ensure that they cover it up. But you know, this avian influenza flu, it has to do with the hair, it has to do with the wind. When it has come in and it is not properly tackled in the particular place that it happened, it's going to spread. So that's why about a few years ago we had that spread, because the farmers were not transparent with the truth. They hid the information, they hid the fact that it happened on their farm. So these are some of the issues that we have to look at. The farmers need to be transparent with the government, say it as it is. If you see something unusual or untoward in your farm, let the government know or let the institute know, let them research it so that they can prevent a total loss or the loss affecting other farms around.
Okay, quickly, just a short one before we wrap up on the program. It's been long I see that, I don't know what their names have been called, farm inspectors.
Yes.
Go around farms.
Yeah.
These days. It used to be rampant in the 90s where you see them go around examining, checking, oh, this your cassava leaf is looking different from the...
Yes, and taking notes and inputs.
What do we do in that regard? Because I see it's going to be a part of help.
Yes, the government needs to resuscitate those departments. I do not want to believe that these departments are extinct. But one thing again is that when you have department that is not adequately mobilized, then they will not be able to function properly. That is the responsibility of the government. When we were talking of Agric inspectors that goes to farm and everything, you know, it's a cost on the government for them to move to various areas. And if the department is not provided with the necessary tools, like vehicles, like allowances that will make these people to go and do their jobs properly, the department will just be in a limbo. I believe and I hope that those in authority, especially the Ministry of Agric in federal government and the states, will look at these issues, because they are also first line of information that we can get on farms as regards diseases. Just like you said, when they go and they say, oh, that this color of the leaf of your tomato is different from the normal one, they take notes and they take such inventories to the necessary and appropriate authorities for investigation. So we need them to be back to be functional as they used to be in the 90s, because it helps a lot when information are gotten on time. It will be able to help to salvage an occurrence that can come up.
Thank you so much for coming on the program, Sam.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, you've heard it from our guests. There is need for collaboration between both the government, farmers, of course, in ensuring that the invasion of pests and diseases is being mitigated and brought to the barest minimum. On this note, to say thank you for joining us on the program, and join us again same time, same station next week. I am Khadija Luatoyin. Bye for now.